How's it going, guys? GameSlinger here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the CAR-556, or as it's called in Battlefield 4, the Ace-23. Now that's something that confused me about the gun, because when you see it in the gun menu, it's called the CAR-556, but whenever you get a service star for it, you'll see the Galil Ace-23 service star. Look at the top of my screen right now. It says Galil Ace-23 service star. So I'm not entirely sure why. I don't think it'd be a copyright issue, but you know, it very well might be. Aside from that though, this gun is an absolute beast. It does 25 maximum damage, 15 minimum damage, 700 RPM. Its recoil is 0.25 up, 0.15 left, and 0.25 right. Now those stats don't sound very good, but it also comes with a 41 round magazine, which is basically like having extended mags, and even better because it's like 10 higher than you usually have, without even having to use an attachment, so that slot's open for like a laser sight or something, and you don't get that penalty to handling, which is also very nice. But you know, those stats really don't even seem like they're correct, because this gun, when you use it, it just feels so much better. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just a good gun for me, but nevertheless, I think it's amazing. And to be honest, I was surprised when I saw those stats, because it seems so much better. Even with the 15 damage minimum, I was getting kills like at 150 yards plus, and not even, you know, breaking a sweat. One major recommendation about the gun I have though is use heavy barrel. If you do not use heavy barrel, you will be putting yourself at a great disadvantage, because this gun, using the heavy barrel, gets so much better accuracy, a lot better recoil, and basically just turns us into a beast. You can not only melt people in close quarters, but also at medium to long range, so use the heavy barrel. And anyway guys, in this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 attachment setups that really worked for me. I had 1 long range setup, 1 medium range setup, and 1 short range setup. They're going to be in that order. And so first, I'm going to go through the long range setup. Now the attachments for the long range setup are the angled foregrip, the heavy barrel, and I choose to use the M145 sight just because I like it, but you can use any magnified optic you want, or no magnified optic at all. And basically the heavy barrel's there for increased accuracy and a little bit less recoil, and the angled foregrip's there for a little bit less first shot recoil, so you can effectively tap fire this gun, and it can actually be very effective, and you can get long range kills with it. But I made this clip mostly to show just how you can get long range kills with it and be precise with it. Not that you should. This gun is definitely more of a close range weapon, but I just wanted to show how versatile it is. So do I recommend that you use it in long range? Not really, but you can in a pinch. Now coming up here is the longest range kill I could get. I just wanted to see the maximum range potential of this weapon, and I think this kill even is a little bit lucky. This guy was just standing still. I don't really know what he was doing, but I couldn't really replicate this, and it's just not really that good of a maximum like 200 yard gun. But yeah, like I said, if you really need to, you can. I don't think you should though. So I really need to tap fire and exercise like maximum recoil control to get this. I think this is around 160 yards. In this setup, I'm going to be using the heavy barrel for better accuracy and recoil control. I'm also going to be using the stubby grip, so you can really fire for a long time and maintain really accurate groupings, as well as the Cobra sight, so I can use this in close quarters still. This is the more versatile of the loadouts. It's the kind of mid-range loadout, but you can also use it in short range, and I found myself pulling off some long-range kills with it too. And I found that the bronze camo on this actually just kind of looked baller as hell, because it has like a two-tone effect with the black gun. I just kind of like that. The studs turned copper. And you know, one other thing I also liked about this gun is how with the heavy barrel, it just all looks all lopsided like a massive pistol. And actually legally this thing is a pistol, because without a stock that's how it's classified. But anyway, I had fun with this setup. There's nothing real special about it. It's just a mid-range setup. This next setup is the third and final setup. It's a close range class, and it's focused on stealth and just kind of running and gunning. As you can see, I have the suppressor, the holographic, and the ergo grip. The ergo grip is to keep that hip fire accuracy and accuracy on the move. The holographic sight is just a great sight for close quarters, and that's why I'm using it. And then the suppressor is to keep me off the minimap. Later, I also use this without the suppressor with the muzzle brake. but I think that the suppressor is ultimately much better because you don't really need the recoil reduction in close quarters, and the staying off the minimap is much better than that slight bit of recoil reduction. As you can see, I switched over to the unsuppressed version with the muzzle brake instead, and I did notice a recoil reduction, but I also noticed a great reduction in accuracy. And the velocity, the extra velocity that you get, isn't really that helpful. It'd be helpful in a longer range setup, but since this is close range, you know, it's not that useful. I noticed a lot more people kind of flanking to my position, and that kind of gave me away, didn't let me sneak up on anybody. So if you're gonna go close quarters, I do recommend you go with the suppressor. I also tried out the laser sight, something that I normally don't do, because the laser sight I find just ends up giving away your position visually, even if you're not on the minimap. So, you know, some things I usually don't do. Overall, I recommend you use a suppressor for close quarters. But I also do recommend that if you're not using a close quarters loadout, to not use a suppressor, because once you put that suppressor on, it decreases the velocity a lot to around 300 meters a second, which is pretty slow, but not only that, the accuracy just goes down the drain. So, you know, great weapon, but you really gotta put the attachments, you really have to customize a gun to what you're gonna use it for. Anyway, one thing I left out is that this gun actually comes with a PKAS holographic sight, so you don't have to use its crappy iron sights. They are very crappy. I tried using them. Do not try to use them for any possible loadout that you might think of. I think it also comes with the vertical foregrip. I could be mistaken though. I think I might have just had a voucher for that and bought it early on. Anyway, all in all, I had quite a lot of fun using this weapon. It's very versatile. But something I forgot to mention though is that you can only obtain this weapon if you had bought the deluxe edition. Now I don't know if Battlefield Hardline, if the staff will let you have the weapon later on, say. I certainly do hope that they do, so everyone gets a chance to use it. It's a great weapon, not overpowered at all, not underpowered. It's a great fit, and that's what I like about it. I think it's perfectly balanced. Anyway guys, this has been GameSlinger. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.